Suits LA is taking over after the massive success of the original, but what surprises does it bring?
We're off the charts.
Muy caliente.
How does Stephen Amell juggle fame and personal battles?
I was on this roller coaster, and it was just a yo-yo of up and down and up and down and up and down.
How did Bryan Greenberg cope with losing his home in the LA fires? And who stood by his side through it all?
So in debt to her.
And what's the real story behind Gabriel Macht's big return?
When someone sends a signal, someone appears.
Let's dive into the unexpected stories of the show's main cast.
That's great.
Stephen Amell as Ted Black. For many fans, this actor will always be the brooding billionaire-turned-vigilante from Arrow. He led the CW series for 8 seasons, cementing his place in the DC superhero universe.
You know that people, they dress up as superheroes all the time?
Yeah.
Just for fun? Yeah. They paid me to do it.
Last year, he reunited with his Arrow co-star Emily Bett Rickards in the Western Calamity Jane. Amell also took on the role of a small-town wrestler in Heels, a gritty stars drama that wrapped after 2 seasons in 2023. But long before that, Stephen stepped into the ring for real, making his professional wrestling debut on WWE Raw in 2015. If that wasn't enough, he returned for Code 8 Part 2, a sci-fi sequel alongside his cousin Robbie Amell.
Of always doing roles, almost always doing roles that had a huge amount of physicality.
And now, Suits LA is giving him a whole new stage to showcase his talents.
It's the same creator, so it is a lot of new people, and it's a different type of law, but the feeling that you got with Suits, we think that we have that as well.
Interestingly, Amell took on the role without ever watching the original Suits.
I'd seen the very famous scene where Harvey hires Mike, and Mike shows that he can have a photographic memory.
And one of his favorite parts of Suits LA? The stylish outfits. After years of wearing tactical gear, he's loving the upgrade to sleek designer looks.
They had me in They've got me in Tom Ford and Brioni and Dior, and it's all just so nice.
Looking ahead, Amell is set to star in the upcoming crime drama Underbelly, playing police officer Henry Roland. In his personal life, the actor has been married to Cassandra Jean since 2012. The couple has 2 children, 11-year-old Maverick Alexandra and almost 3-year-old Bowen Auguste. Stephen often shares glimpses of their adventures on social media, but not all of his headlines have been about work or family.
I was in the midst of this transition in my life that I didn't really want to accept.
He has been open about his mental struggles, proving that even superheroes and top lawyers need support sometimes.
You lose the ability to feel genuine happiness at moments when you really should feel genuine happiness.
Back in 2022, the actor was asked to leave a flight after a heated argument with his wife. He acknowledged that alcohol played a role in the incident, taking responsibility for his actions.
I have an addictive personality. I have a history of alcoholism in my family, so it's a slippery slope, I suggest, so I'd rather just not get on the slope.
He later admitted that the incident was a wake-up call, pushing him to focus on healthier habits.
I do my best to never touch any hard liquor anymore. I make an effort never to really drink around my kids.
Now, as he stepped into the Suits universe, Amell is embracing a fresh start, both on-screen and off.
I love nothing more right now than getting a good night's sleep and waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning for an hour by myself.
And what about one of the Ted Black's sharpest employees? Lex Scott Davis as Erica Rollins. This actress decided not to watch the original Suits before taking on her role. She wanted to bring her own experience and energy to Rollins without being influenced by the previous series.
I definitely was very inspired by the women of the original, but I didn't want to be a direct copy-paste of them. I think that would be fair to anyone, including them.
However, Davis did mention that Jessica Pearson is her favorite character.
And I feel like she would be epic in a scene. To have Pearson and Erica in the same scene, whew, it would be magical. So I would love if we had the opportunity to bring her.
Lex Scott has also been very open about her admiration for Gabriel Macht. She shared how supportive he was on set, with Specter offering guidance and encouragement to the new cast members.
Before we started filming the pilot, he sent the loveliest message to the cast. I'll just never forget that he took time out of his life to make sure that we were all, had that just warm hug from afar from him.
By the way, in shaping her portrayal of Erica, Davis drew inspiration from her mother,
who was a paralegal in her younger days and now still is running the same law firm that she was running since before I was born.
She first caught audiences' attention in 2016, playing R&B legend in Toni Braxton, Unbreak My Heart. Davis also showcased her versatility in Netflix's action thriller Sweet Girl, starring alongside Jason Momoa. Last year, she appeared in Ricky Stenicki, sharing the screen with John Cena and Zac Efron.
So it's kind of like camp, all we had was each other. We didn't know anyone else. And Zac and I hit it off from the moment we met each other, and we just had a great time and talked about life and talked about acting. And
beyond the screen, Davis has a real-life love story that sounds straight out of a movie. She met her husband, actor Mo McRae, on the set of the first Purge, and sparks flew instantly. Me and Mo sat across from each other, and we locked eyes for a beat too long, she recalled. During a trip to Baltimore to meet Davis's family, McRae woke up from a nap with what he called a spiritual moment. He knew she was his future wife. I couldn't ignore it. I couldn't run from my destiny. The couple got engaged in 2018 and married in a serene Los Angeles ceremony. Their family grew soon after, welcoming a son in 2020 and a daughter 2 years later. One more fun fact: before diving into acting, Davis had a background in physical therapy and dance, which she believes enriches her performances. And last year, she took another exciting step by opening her own production studio, Ego Lab.
What most people don't know is that I have a true love for all things home design.
Now, let's talk about Erica's biggest competitor, Bryan Greenberg as Rick Dodson. 2025 started on a heartbreaking note for the star of teen drama One Tree Hill. He and his family lost their home in the devastating LA fires. Through this tough time, Bryan has leaned on his wife, actress Jamie Chung, and their twin boys for support. The couple has been together since 2012 and has a pretty sweet story.
Almost 10 years now.
They were friends for years before dating. Once they tied the knot, they didn't just keep their love between them, they shared it on screen too. The couple starred as love interests in the 2015 film Already Tomorrow in Hong Kong. Recently, they were filming together again in Junction, a powerful drama about the opioid crisis.
A few years ago, I went in for a routine surgery, and I was prescribed Oxycontin, and I ended up getting kind of hooked on it. Very hard for me to get off. I was getting dope sick.
Greenberg has called it one of the most meaningful projects of his career. In fact, he took on a new challenge as the writer, director, and star of this movie.
I think he's a fantastic director, and I've seen how hard he worked on this film, and just come to fruition, all of his hard work is really remarkable.
He spent nearly 2 months away from home to bring his vision to life.
No, but our kids were 6 months at the time.
Oh, wow.
And it just would have been impossible to have, both parents off on a set.
When Bryan isn't working, he tries to spend as much time as possible with his 4-year-old boys. But he's honest about it. Being a dad is no joke.
Hardest part is the 6 to 7 a.m. wake-ups every day. No matter what you do the night before, they don't care.
Greenberg is not just a dad, actor, and director. He's also a musician. He even released his debut album, Waiting for Now. These days, he's showing off his serious musical chops on the set of Suits LA. Overall, Greenberg is proud to be part of this massive project. And yes, just like his co-stars, he didn't watch the original either.
When I got the role of Suits LA, I was like, I can't watch the show because then I'm just going to be doing what they did.
He loves the sharp writing and, of course, the chance to play a character who keeps things interesting at Black Lane Law.
Rick is always in the office. I'm like first in the office, last to leave, so I think I'm always in a suit. I think I wake up in a suit.
And the next actor admitted that landing the role was a huge surprise for him. Josh McDermitt as Stuart Lane. He still can't wrap his head around being part of Suits LA. When asked about his thoughts on playing Ted's former partner, Josh simply said,
I can't believe I'm here doing it.
Even though McDermott is known for his comedic roles, he enjoys exploring the more complex and intense side of Stewart's character.
He's very powerful. He's very funny. Maybe he's not, but I think he's funny.
And Josh himself still brings his signature funny energy to set. He's the kind of guy who can crack a joke in any situation, which makes sense since he actually started out as a comedian. One of his favorite ways to do that, bringing his furry friend to set.
Bring your daughter to work day.
Before becoming famous as Eugene Porter in The Walking Dead, McDermott was a semi-finalist on Last Comic Standing. That's where he first proved he had a real talent for making people laugh.
Lonesome feeling comes through my door and the whole world turns. blue.
But Josh faced a seriously unfunny situation while working on The Walking Dead. After his character sided with villain, some fans took things way too far, sending him online death threats. It got so bad that McDermott decided to quit social media in 2017. Addressing the situation in a Facebook post, he said, "When you start saying you hope I die, I don't know if you're talking about Josh or Eugene. Just go spend time with your family or friends or loved ones. I love you guys." Regarding his personal life, McDermott maintains a low profile. He's not one to share much about what's going on behind the scenes, preferring to let his work do the talking. However, some reports suggest he is married to a woman, who prefers to stay out of the limelight as well. Well, the main character's ex turned out to be just as private in real life. Rachelle Goulding as Samantha. In the show, she's got a complicated story with Ted Black, former lovers turned rivals, which makes for some seriously fun tension.
I mean, in present day, her priorities are not necessarily him anymore.
But outside of her acting, Rachelle has faced some tough personal moments as well. Earlier this year, she shared a heartfelt post about the loss of her dog, Lola. After over 12 years together, Rachelle paid a touching tribute, expressing how much Lola had meant to her. "You came into my life when I needed you most. You showered me with all the cuddles, made me laugh, and gave me endless love and comfort." Goulding had a past relationship with Gossip Girl's Chase Crawford, but they went their separate ways nearly a decade ago. She hasn't been romantically connected to anyone publicly until last year. Now the star is linked to former music manager Scooter Braun, who's worked with huge names like Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande. Outside of her personal life, Goulding is a fitness powerhouse. She's passionate about mixed martial arts, boxing, yoga, and staff spinning, activities she features on her Instagram. Goulding also loves food and cooking, sharing videos with the dishes she's either made or enjoyed. But that's not all. Rachelle is an adventure junkie. The former model enjoys activities like skydiving, scuba diving, and bungee jumping, balancing out her fitness routine with a bit of adrenaline. As for her career, Rachelle has been building quite a name for herself, particularly in drama roles. She starred in the 2024 crime thriller Chasing Shadows, where she played a detective navigating the gritty side of city life. Her upcoming project includes Crossfire, a high-stakes courtroom drama set to air in late 2025. She is also gearing up for an exciting upcoming TV series, The Gringo Hunters. Finally, let's talk about the Suits LA biggest comeback. Gabriel Macht as Harvey Specter. 2025 started with a bang for this actor as he reprised his legendary role. Fans were thrilled to see the sharp-tongued, confident lawyer back in action after almost 6 years.
I'm totally humbled by the excitement that a new generation has had for it, and it gave the opportunity to create this.
But what led to his return for 3 episodes? Well, just like Harvey, Gabriel knows a thing or two about loyalty, and that's part of the reason why he's back, to pass the baton and support the new generation of Suits actors.
I believe in the universe, and if there's an opportunity to play, and it's interesting and exciting, and it makes sense, come on back for a little while.
But let's rewind a bit. Before this comeback, Gabriel had a busy and fulfilling life. After Suits ended, he took a break from acting to focus on his family and new ventures. He's been married to actress Jacinda Barrett since 2004, after meeting her on a blind date. Over the years, he has often referred to the wife as his best friend and soulmate. Their relationship is a model of how to keep things grounded despite the glitz and glam of Hollywood. They have 2 kids together, and Gabriel has said that being fully present for them was a big reason he stepped back from the spotlight. But in January 2024, he first made a return at the Golden Globe Awards, where he reunited with his Suits castmates. It was a memorable moment for fans who had been eagerly waiting for a Suits reunion. Macht also dove into creative projects outside of acting. One of the most interesting was his partnership with Bear Fight Whiskey. He starred in the brand's first advertising campaign, which even made it into the New York Times list of best Super Bowl commercials. I've really enjoyed wearing a different hat. I've done acting, I've done directing and producing, and now I'm a partner as a creative director. And, the actor found a fun way to blend his personal interests with his work on Suits LA.
He showed up on the lot and he thinks he's a star. I think he's got boundary issues. He's behind me, isn't he?
Viewers have also noticed his undeniable chemistry with co-star Stephen Amell, and it turns out their connection isn't just for the cameras. Off-screen, the two have developed a strong bond, which only makes their dynamic in Suits LA feel that much more authentic.
You gotta watch the show because he's in it.
Gabriel proved he's still got the charm and energy fans loved. Excited to see Harvey Specter back in action? Well, guess what? He's not the only familiar face from Suits appearing in the new series.
Rick Hoffman's coming back to the show. I think he's going to be great.
Which other stars would you love to return? And do you think this new series has what it takes to outshine the original?
This is why you should watch Suits LA. Because if you don't, I'll sue you.
Drop your thoughts in the comments.